Are you looking for a method and methodology that you can use on every single Football Manager save in how to build a club in FM24 and build that club up to being the best club in your league, in your nation, and in the world in general? Then look no further than this video. In this video, I am going to be using Leeds United Football Club as the example on how to build a club. But all of these tips are relevant to any single club that you manage in Football Manager 2024. And now I'm going to give you my go-to methodology, system, and all my top tips in what I use in every single save, regardless of what team I am, to propel me to success, and they're going to propel you to success. The first thing to analyze is your coaches, your recruitment team, and your medical staff. The bottom bit here, coaching team comparison, recruitment team comparison, medical team comparison, they all compare the same thing. They show you how good you are against the league that you're in. And whatever league you're in, there is no excuse not to be the best. I mean, arguably, if you've just come up into that division, that could be one argument. So that could be something to consider. But what you want to always aim for is having the best. So this yellow line here says that it is the best in the championship in terms of people management. We've already got that. The first thing I always look to do is to hire the right coaches. And if you have to fire some of the coaches you've already got, get rid of them. Make sure you've got the best coaches you can attract to your football club to make you stand out, because the training coaching staff is very important in getting the on-field performances right. If you don't have good coaches, you will not get the best out of your players. Even if you've got the OP tactics, you're still not going to perform to the level that you should. Make sure that this is always at the highest possible you can get it. And always aim for it being the best. If you can't get that done in the first season, get it done in the second, the third. Whenever you get it done, just get it done. It's key. The same goes for the scouting as well. Why is scouting so important? Scouting is so important because, yes, we can all go online. We can all Google who the best Wonder Kids are in FM24. We can all go on TikTok. We can all go on YouTube. And we can all do that. But your scouts will then start, as the seasons roll on, the new gens start coming through. You're going to miss out. If your scouting team isn't correct and isn't set up correctly, you're going to miss out on those players for sure. You can't Google the best regens. It's not going to happen. New gens. It's not going to happen. Medical staff. Your players are going to be injured for less time. So if you've got great medical staff, your players who get a knock, who are going to be out for 8 weeks, if you've got a physio with 20, it's going to be considerably less, because they are the best medical professionals you can get. So you're getting them on the pitch back quicker. So don't underestimate your medical staff. Just don't underestimate your staff in general. And if you don't have these at the best and you're watching this thinking, wow, these are some great tips, honestly, it is the best tip to do. Is first, when you join a club, analyze this, know what you need, go out and get it, and go out and get it done. Once you've got through your coaches and you've analysed and you know what you need to do, and you've had your staff searching and you're going to search and you're going to go through all of that and you're going to get all the relevant staff members, I then look at the facilities of the club that I'm managing. You click on club info, and then you click on facilities. You go down. So for Leeds, they've got an excellent example. They've got superb training, excellent youth, good academy, above average youth recruitment. So you look at that and go, okay, superb training facilities. I don't need to invest money in training facilities. They're superb. So I'm going to get good training out of my players. Excellent youth facilities. That's excellent as well. You could spend some money there, but you don't need to right away. You can upgrade them as you go up into the Premier League. But what you want to look at in this example is the academy coaching and the youth recruitment. You want to get them to excellent and superb straight away. That's what you want to put your money in. Don't go and waste big money on players. Go and spend it here first. Convince your board that you need this. This helps build your club for the long term and becomes sustainable. Sustainable in the transfer market. So you're going to build up your own players, bring them through your academy, sell them on for huge profits, and then just keep reinvesting. And that's what I'm going to show you further on in this video. But don't underestimate your facilities. If your facilities are rubbish and your staff are rubbish, you're going to get rubbish out. It's as simple as that. Finances play a key part in building any club in Football Manager 2024. You always want to be in overall balance of positive. And there's quite a lot of ways that you can do this. You can bring in senior affiliates that will build up your reputation in a nation that is like the USA, Brazil, China. Build up your shirt sales out there. Signing players from those nations as well with big reputations will help sell shirts in those countries. That's what you want. Those are the small little things. But I'm going to give you some transfer tips in order to build up that finance and to build it up in a sustainable way. The first thing I would say is that no baller is unsellable. So, for instance, I'm going to use Archie Gray as an example. What I always say is don't get attached to players' names on Football Manager. It isn't real life. Every player that you can be replaced. It doesn't matter if that's a new gen, if that's another player in another squad. For less, you can get the same sort of quality of player. Archie Gray is one of the best midfield players on the game. He always develops into being a beast. If you develop him and he's worth 50, 60 million, and let's say, for example, Real Madrid come in for 100 million for Archie Gray, you'd be mad not to take it. Why wouldn't you take it? You want to try and get those transfers in. You take the biggest amount you can from those clubs. You want to negotiate with them back and forward, see what best sort of deal you can get for your football club. And once you've done that, you just rinse and repeat this method I am going to show you right now. You go and offer Archie Gray out to clubs, transfer offer via the transfer room. You want to pick a higher end of the budget. And all you simply do is you offer him out via the transfer room. Clubs will come back with offers, and then you just simply negotiate with them until you feel like you get the best price. But just keep going, keep offering him out slightly more each time. So first time you offer him out for 15. Move up to 15.75. Do it again and again and again and again until you get to the point where you think, okay, now I'm being unrealistic. He's 16 million is the most. I've upped it to 16.75 or 17 million. Teams are still coming in. Say, for instance, there's 5. You keep going until there's 1 or 2 teams left. Then you know you've really hit your limit on what you can get for him. And you're pushing that boundary of the transfer all the way out to reach the maximum amount of value for a player that you can get. And in my opinion, this is the best way of doing it. And it always seems to work. What you also want to do is build a philosophy at your football club. You want to be a certain type of manager. You want to play a certain type of football, and that's perfectly fine. But in the first season of the game, you have to play with what you've got in most cases. And what happens is you pick a tactic and you think, oh yeah, I've seen this OP tactic on FM Scout, on somewhere else, on someone's TikTok channel. I want to use that, but it doesn't quite fit your players. I'm going to teach you now how to make the tactic that does fit the players that you've got. And it's really simple. All you do is go to tactics. You'll see here, you'll notice that on some of them, there's a little thumbs up. What does that thumbs up mean? That thumbs up means that your assistant manager is telling you this, with the type of players that we got, we can play these 3 systems. We can play Gengham press, we can play vertical tiki-taka, we can play fluid counter-attack. The rest of them won't work with the team that we've currently got. An emphasis on the currently, because there's no point playing a tactic that doesn't fit the team that you've got. It just won't work. It doesn't matter how OP it is at all. So if you want to play a Gengham press type of football, that's fine here at Leeds. All you do is click on Gengham press, you click on choose a formation, and then the assistant manager will tell you what's going to work best out of the formations that are here. So he's saying a 4-2-4. It's a very attacking tactic with 2 forwards, great wingers, 2 DMs, ball playing centre backs, wing backs, sweeper keeper. It is very much Jurgen Klopp rock and roll football. And it will bring you in with the standard presets of in possession, in transition, and out of possession. Now, you can modify and tweak these as much as you want. What I would say is don't put on too many instructions, particularly if you're lower down the leagues. Don't put, because they'll just get confused. They haven't got the footballing intelligence to play that level of football that you might be able to play in, say, the Premier League or Serie A. But in the Championship, you've got highly intelligent players. You can tweak these in possession, in transitions, and out of possession. And I will give you a tip for FM24. Positive seems like it's been nerfed. So you're either going to play attacking or balanced football. For me, balanced football is the best, and I'll show you why at the end of this video also. Once you've settled on the tactic, what you want to do is pick the team that's going to play. So pick your best players. And now what you want to see and do is on the right hand side here, you'll see some players. What you basically want to get is 3-star and above for all these players. Now don't pay too much attention to the stars. The stars are relevant to your team, not the league. So they're relevant to how good your squad actually is at achieving the goal that they're going to achieve this season. So you want to pick the players on their best performing role. So for instance, you've got Pascal Struck here, ball playing defender. He's 4.5 star at that. He can play as a wide centre back as well, but you'd have to be playing in a 5 to play that. So he's on the right one. Other players, so we look at Jorginho Ruta. As we can see, Jorginho Ruta can play deep line forward, he can play advanced forward, he can play complete forward, and a Trey Quista, all in the same sort of level of familiarity. What you want to do is make sure that each player in your team is maximised to their playing role, because that gets the best out of them. And it's simple. You've got the best coaches now. You've got the best training ongoing, and now you're putting the players in their best roles. You are setting yourself up for success. What you want to do is now set up pre-season friendlies right at the start of the game, as many as you can get. And the reason for that is you want to develop the green lines between the 2 players here, the 2 players here, here, up here. Wherever you can get those familiarity of playing with players, get it in before you start the season, because those players will have a great understanding with each other before you've even started the season. And when you start getting into the serious stuff, your boys are going to perform better than anyone else in the league, and you're going to absolutely run riot on it. Once you've got your squad in place, what you want to use is take full advantage of the squad planner on the left-hand side. It is an underutilized tool in Football Manager 2024. Not enough players use this to the fullest potential. And what you want to look at first is your experience matrix. You've got players that are in development, emerging, peak, and experience. And what you can see is you want a real balance between these. You want more on the peak and emerging side. Developmental talents are great as well. Experience you need in your squad. I usually go for about 2 or 3 experienced players, sometimes a little bit more depending on the situation. I mean, if I'm fighting relegation, I might want a few more experienced heads in there just to bring the other guys along. But emerging and peak, players in their peak are going to be at the peak of their form. It's as simple as that. It's quite self-explanatory. Emerging talents are players that are developing, they're emerging, they're going to be class players, they're going to move into the peak. And development, what you want to do is just move these players along each one of these tabs and get the best out of your squad. This is not a good balance at the start of the game, I would say, for Leeds, because you're fighting for a title. You're going to want a few more experienced heads in there, 2 or 3 to add it the most. And once you've got that perfect balance, again, you're going to have that mentality in your squad that is everyone wants to win, everyone wants to push forward. It's going to be an absolute smashing season for the club. By using all of those tips in my first season with Aris, I not only won the league in Greece, beating teams like Olympiacos and AEK who have higher budgets than me. We also won the Europa Conference League in our first season as well, and we're currently unbeaten at the start of the second season. If you want to see this series, it is on my YouTube channel, it is on this channel. Go and watch it, it's unbelievable. And if you want more hits and tips on Football Manager, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you on the next one.